Right. In this video, guys, we're going to be talking about gamifying life, which I know sounds like a strange term, but myself, I was a massive gamer when I was growing up. And I think games have a massive, massive influence on lifestyle in general. I think in terms of, let me just get this straight. I think it's very similar to how life is. And I think as young men, I'm not saying me, I'm saying you guys, as young men, you can really understand how games are won. You can really understand how progression occurs when you're playing a video game. And I think if we can apply that to general life, general improvement, the progression of what you're working on and what you're trying to achieve, that can only be a benefit. That can only be a benefit to your life. And I'm going to start off with something very familiar to you guys, and then we'll bridge into a newer concept that I've been toying with recently. But there we go, let's adjust this. So the familiar concept is creating your character. Now, I always told you guys to create the hypermasculine character, but in general, you don't have to particularly create a hypermasculine character. That doesn't have to be your thing. You can just create your character that is optimal for the modern era. For optimal for what you require. It's optimal for what you're looking for in life. If you're looking for a certain level of woman, you're going to have to become a certain type of guy. If you want to run a business, you want to make a shit ton of money, you want to get to a certain level in life, then you're going to have to acquire certain skills to get to a position where you can accomplish that. And like I said, it's not necessarily hyper-masculine character, but it's a character that is optimal for modern male life, something that you're going to have to achieve. Now you're going to have to acquire points along the way. And this is where we bridge into my newer concept and everything that I've been looking into, where we were on a school call the other day, and if you guys want to join school, link is below. £49 per month or $49 per month or £38 per month. We've got a call tonight at, I don't think you guys will make that actually. I think I'll put out a different video. So it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and an optional one on Sunday as well. We've got all the courses on there, stream platform projects, everything you'd ever need. We were on a school call the other day, and we were talking about, how somebody said to me, how do I get to the next level? How do I accomplish this and that? Like, where do I begin? Where do I start? And I described it like in a Rubik's Cube. I said, if you've got this Rubik's Cube and you're trying to like solve it and you're moving these parts around, that's you testing. Well, what happens once you get to a certain phase where you go, I've got all blue on that side. Like I've done one side, it's all blue. Well, what do? You hold that in place, don't you? You lock it, you work around it, you move these. And I think, in my opinion, it's very similar to life, where let's say the blue is fitness. And this is why I always said to you guys, fitness is at the core of all self-improvement because it opens up so many doors and avenues. For example, it opens up discipline, it opens up female attention, it opens up respect from men, it opens up the opportunity to, attack your fashion because now you've got a good body, you can dress in a certain way. And let's say that blue that's locked in is fitness. You start moving this around and you start working around with it. In my opinion, like you've got to acquire certain points before you can get to the next level. It's like if I wanted you guys to cross a river and your strategy was to jump from one side to the other, that's kind of dumb, right? It's just not going to happen. Logically, it's not going to check out. Whereas if you use like almost a stepping stone strategy where you said, well, if we put this in the water and we get to that point, that then allows us to grab onto that branch, which bridges over to here, which allows us to then build another platform here, which takes us to the halfway point. Then we'll structure what's behind us to make sure it doesn't like fall from beneath us and whatnot. That then buys us time and energy. We can have a good sleep and we can attack it again in the morning. We know it's not going to fall over. Okay, then we can move on. We can build the next bit. That's how life is done. I think everybody believes it's like a sprint. I think everyone believes you wake up in the morning and you just go, right, I'm going to do everything at once. Somebody asked me about school community. He said, I'm new to school. And I was wondering how I do it. He was like, what do I do? It's really confusing. What do I work on first? Like, it's a lot all at once. And I was saying, yeah, so's life. Life is a lot all at once, so you can't do it all at once. You have to do certain things that then, and here's where we get to the gamify life section, you do certain things that then unlock the next level, unlock the next chapter. Remember when we all played GTA when we were younger, and you'd go to drive to an island and you'd just stop, or it would reset you facing the other way? Do you remember that? You'd be driving, it would just reset you and you'd be turned that way, you'd be going back that way. And they would be like, this island isn't available yet. It hasn't unlocked it. Try and accomplish this, this, and this before you get to there. That's life. in so many different areas. Like, I'll give you an example. Let's say there's beautiful women, eights, nines, and tens behind this door, and you're like, I want access to that. You go to open it, and they say, sorry, you need 10 body points. You need 20 financial points. You need 10 asset points. You need 5 fashion points. You need 5 skincare points to open this door. That's what it's like. That's what you're working with. And everybody's trying to go 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 in all areas of life. And it's like, you need to go back to the drawing board. You need to go and acquire some points first in this area, that area, that area to go and accomplish that one. I mean, as an example, me and Aiden behind me now, give us a wave, Aiden. We were talking about levels that you can do on video games, and the example that was used, I believe it was from Charlie, what's his surname, Aiden?
Charlie Morgan.
Charlie Morgan. You guys obviously know who he is, massive name in the industry. And apparently he was talking about, you know, the level 100 dragon on a video game. If you want to slay that dragon, you don't just show up and just start fighting that dragon on day one of the game. And I've played plenty of games like this where you have to walk around for a very, very long time and go and collect items and do side quests and stuff like that, and these smaller little side missions before, you know, you can build up enough money to go and buy the potions that allow you to get this and whatnot, and then buy the sword that is strong enough to actually kill that dragon. Oh, this sword can't penetrate that armor. Okay, I have to get to level 50 before I can actually buy the sword that allows me to penetrate that armor, and I can have a go at it. Like, a lot of this is why I do love video games in terms of life lessons, because is not necessarily the most talented or the most skillful person. It's usually the most resourceful person. It's usually the person that has, you know, the most facilities in their control, that has the most things that they can call upon, that has a skill set that they've built up over years. It's not necessarily somebody who's just got like a ton of talent. It's not somebody who, you know, they're naturally taller than everybody else. They're naturally more jacked than everybody else. Like, they've actually had to go out into the world and acquire certain skills. They've had to build that up over years. Like I said, it's the Rubiks Cube. You got that locked in. You've done that. Okay. Because you've done that, it allows you to move this one. That's what a lot of it is. You go, like, Wheat Waffles used to talk about this years ago. He said, grab the low-hanging fruit. And I've said it to you guys, work with what you have. Like, do what you can with what you have right now. Without that, you just can't move, right? So you go, what can I do right now? Oh, well, I'm 16 years old. I've got no money. I've got nothing going on. And it's like, what can I do? What can I work on? Well, anybody can work on fitness. Anybody can get in the gym. Okay, well, what does that do for me? Well, it starts making me feel a little bit more confident. It jacks me up a little bit. Now I look better in clothes. Oh shit, I'm getting a little bit of female attention a year later. So it's opening doors. You're acquiring skills in one area, which is bridging over to other areas, which then enables you to open that door and then go and acquire skills to master this new room. I'll give you an example. You get in shape, it attracts more female attention. That door opens up. And now you start learning skills to do with women, like how to date, how to talk, how to, I don't know, sexual skills, something like that. And it's that initial skill asset, that skill acquirement that you got at the start, or skill acquisition, that then allowed you to open the next door, which then forced you to grow again. And me and Aiden were talking yesterday about a video that I did a while back, which was behind the thin wall. Like, your entire life is behind a very thin wall. Like, that is where the growth is done. And if you're not willing to push yourself, if you're not willing to challenge yourself, if you're not willing to do more and try and get to the next level, you won't ever get to a position where you need more skills. Like I've said to you guys before, if you want an easy life, if you want a stress-free life, do nothing. Literally do nothing. Just work on nothing. Don't do anything new. And what you currently know will be what you need forever. You'll never have to learn anything new ever again in your whole life, right? It can be a positive if you just want a stress-free life, you don't want to do anything. But if you actually want to accomplish something, you want to go up to the next level, you have to constantly challenge yourself. You have to go and do something new that you're scared of. And then once you've done that, you go, I've realized how bad I am at it. I've realized how exposed I am at it. I've now realized what I need to go and acquire next so I can strengthen that category. Very much like when I said to you guys years ago about the straight 7 system, build yourself up to a 7 in this area. It's video game stuff. All of this shit is video game stuff. You're building yourself up to a straight 7 so that you're qualified to handle anything in the world. I saw a study recently which said that You know, it's the old, it's not the strongest, quickest, whatever, it's the most adaptable. They found this in business and life as well. Like people who can adapt to different scenarios, that have got skills and approaches to deal with multiple scenarios, were more successful and were able to survive in business and success and whatever in life for longer. That's what the straight seven system was built around, being an all-rounder, being somebody who, you know, you might not be the tallest or the most muscular, but you're in the top like 5% in every single category across the board, or top 10% across the board. That's phenomenal, right? That's the only place you need to be. And a character on a video game, if you were selecting a character, you would probably select the character that's most well-rounded, because that gives you the best chance of completing the whole game. Because yeah, one level you might be better off with the strong guy, but you know, as a collective across the whole game, you want somebody who's well-rounded. And I've got a few examples on my phone actually. I want to go through these guys. I do need a little bit of assistance on this one because I've written down loads. I've said, like, for example, you might need 10 money points required to unlock this level of happiness. You know, I think that's a good example. You know, you're thinking, oh, why am I not happy? Why am I annoyed all the time? Why am I frustrated? How does my life get to the next level? Well, what are the things that you want? Well, I want a house, I want a wife, I want kids. Okay, well, how many money points do you currently have? Well, I've got this many. Well, you need 20 more. You need 20 more to get to that level. And it might take 3 months to get 1 point. It might take 6 months to get 5 points and whatnot. And you're working away at that. And you go, as long as I'm just going to focus on this one category, money points. Once I get to that level, it unlocks that, and that. I can add them into my life. I can work on them. Oh, now my happiness has gone up to a 10. Like, I swear to God, video games are so closely matched to life. It's so accurate. Anybody who's played them, you can really use them in your own life. You can structure things like that. I think that gives you, I think it's so good because it gives you like a strategy. I don't think it's any secret that most successful people are quite autistic. You see this in the world now. You see most people that are, you know, content creators and whatnot. We overanalyze. We break everything down into like such detail. It's not even required. You know, and it's like, how the hell have you thought of that video idea? I think most of us are fucking autistic, right? I think some people more than others, but I think most of us are autistic. And most people who are play video games. And we used to play video games when we were younger. Every single person I meet at one in house is like, I used to play video games when I was younger. Successful people, I played video games when I was younger. It's because we come up with these systems, we break everything down into, you need this level of skill, you need to improve this area. My bar's at red, I need to get it to green before I can, like, they see the world differently. They're like, I know why I haven't accomplished that, because I need to get back to the drawing board, I need to work on this, I need to get the armor, I need to get the swords, and then I can come back and I can actually slay that dragon. That's what a lot of us are doing. We don't realize we're doing it, but that's what we're doing. And a lot of self-improvement, everything that I talk about, all these concepts and, you know, the way that I break things down, a lot of them are just gamified. It's like making fun of life. And I think that's really important because then it protects you guys, it protects your happiness, but it makes you want to stay in the game for longer. It gives you patience because you're like, I know if I just work on this, this, and this, it'll open the door to this, this, and this. That's a very, I don't think we realize it, but that's a very like, male, gamified, nerdy version of looking at the world. Not everyone looks at it like that. And I think most guys who played video games when they're younger, they should adopt that strategy into their current life now and see it as you're building a character, you're building that guy up, you're building that skill set up, you're acquiring skill points to unlock the next bit. Because, you know, you could be as ambitious as you want, you could try as hard as you want. If you don't have the skills that are required here, or the skills that are required here, typing and doing whatever you need to do, it's just not going to work. So then you go, okay, if I can't accomplish this, and this is very video gaming, if you can't accomplish this, and I can't move forward in this area right now, I'm locked. What's the game asking me to do? The game's asking me to go to this area, to this village, to this place. I need to go and do this side quest. I need to go and do this, and this. Okay, now I've built myself up to a great stage. I'm going to come back and try that big level again. And then you accomplish it, and I think it teaches you something. I think it teaches you that if, for example, you go up to a woman and you get rejected, then you know you need to start working on your hygiene, right? Nothing to do with women. You need to go and work on your fashion. Nothing to do with women. You need to work on your social skills. Nothing to do with women. You know, you need to go and work on confidence, public speaking, whatever. Nothing to do with women. You need to go and work on fitness. Again, it's got nothing to do with women directly. But by working on those 5 things, guess what you then get? You get women. And then when you get women, you get more experience, more feedback, and then you can improve the other areas even more. You can improve that area specifically. That's a video game strategy. It always has been. And I think the guys that played video games when they were younger and they see the world in that manner of like problem solving. And I heard Gary Vee talk about this too. He said all the successful guys on planet Earth are problem solvers from video games. He said that's where it comes from. He said they all played video games and they learned how to problem solve from a young age. I genuinely think that's a true thing. I think you've got to gamify life. You've got to make it fun. You have to make a little challenge out of it. You have to set these like side quests, so to speak, and then you have the overall mission goal. And I think that's how you, I think it gives a lot of guys a lot of encouragement. I think it gives you structure. I think it makes it enjoyable. I definitely do it myself. My channel is basically based around that, and I hadn't really realized it until I mentioned it on the school call. But it's so true, and I think a lot of you guys will be able to relate to that. I think there'll be hundreds of examples. I think we'll probably be able to make more videos like this and stuff. But yeah, I love stuff like this. This is why the school community is so good, because I can speak to you guys personally. This is why 1M House is so good, because I can actually meet you guys in person and stuff like that. And we were saying about 1M House, actually, it's £169 per month, which is £5.50 a day. It's a meal deal or a coffee. Like, what would you rather spend on? Would you rather spend £5.50 a day on 1M House, travel around the world with us guys, hang out with us guys, get this level of information in person, have these discussions, you know, go to events. We're going to be doing sports events and stuff like that. We're going to get tickets for you guys and Fashion Week and whatnot, and you're getting this high level of information for £5.50 a day. Or do you want to spend that on a Lucozade and a sandwich? It's insane. But I love this concept. But I'll speak to you guys soon. Have a good one.